Hello, everyone. I'm Leanne.
And I'm Kathy. This is our podcast. Welcome to Hinton.
We're sisters who were born and raised right here in Hinton. Our town may be small in size, but we're big in heart.
Hinton has some great stories to tell, from local legends and histories to the future of our great mountain state.
And as the southern gateway to the New River Gorge National Park and Preserve, we're surrounded by natural beauty you have to come see to believe.
Join us on our show as we celebrate all things Hinton and have a lot of fun along the way. We love to talk, we love to laugh, and we love finding humor in small and unexpected places.
Welcome to Hinton. Two sisters,
One microphone.
zero filter.
Hello, everybody. This is Kathy.
And this is Leanne. And this is our Welcome to Hinton podcast, episode 3.
We made it to episode 3, Leanne. I'm so excited. You know why?
Why?
There's something special about this. They say that new podcasts just stop functioning after the 3rd episode. People get tired and give up. Seems like a fun idea to start. And
Right.
then around episode 3, everything just dies on the vine. So we're on episode 3. We're pretty close to beating the odds.
We are. And I think after this episode, we're going to have to try real hard to get in episode 4 just to prove that whole theory wrong. Right.
And then we'll have our first milestone in our podcasting careers, because this is a career for us now.
It is. I have just put to the side every other thing going on in my life, and it's a
we don't need.
podcast.
Yeah, we don't need to work. We're podcasters, but only after episode 4. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Exactly. So today's episode is titled Hinton Needs a Cryptid.
Boy, do we ever.
You know what? Okay. So for background, we're going to talk about what is a cryptid and just talk about how West Virginia is pretty famous
We have a
for
lot.
several popular and fun cryptids.
That's right.
So, Kathy, why don't you tell us what a cryptid is? The Webster definition.
Okay, yeah. They called me the dictionary when I was in college,
Oh, was that your nickname?
Yeah. So a cryptid is any kind of animal hybrid creature that has not been verified by science. They tend to be mixes of things, like Bigfoot is part man, part ape, or whatever he is, same with Mothman. So anyway, a lot of cities in West Virginia, they are getting really popular, having their own cryptids. Mothman is the best example. He's from Point Pleasant. And I mean, there's Mothman merchandise. There's a Mothman festival. Tourists flood there to get their picture taken with the Mothman statue.
Which, by the way, I'm going to interject. I just recently, within this last year, had to go into Ohio to pick up something for the store. But anyway, I came back through Point Pleasant and took a selfie with Mothman and felt so proud because I had never been to Point Pleasant. And so the museum is there. It's fabulous. And he's West Virginia's own. Yeah. So continue, Kathy. Sorry.
Right. So Flatwoods has the Flatwoods Monster. What else?
There's the Grafton.
Grafton, right.
And that's a lesser known one. There's also one in Monongalia County, the Ogua, Ogua, that is in the river there. In our store at Hinton Outfitters, we do have a cryptid poster that depicts all the ones in West Virginia. I mean, there's like 10 or 12. I mean, there's a lot.
There's a bunch. And
so
I'm just going to say it. I'm jealous.
I know, me too.
Should have a cryptid. People should be flooding to our town.
Right.
To get pictures with the statue of whatever weird cryptid that we have. So in this episode, we're going to talk about some possibilities for Hinton cryptids.
Yes, and we're going to see where that takes us. So, in our search for a Hinton cryptid, we decided that we would look at other towns who have adopted or have their own cryptid here in West Virginia. And one of the most, I guess, striking examples is in Sutton, West Virginia. They have basically claimed Bigfoot. Bigfoot, as we know, globally around the world, has been around for years and years and has been cited and searched and researched. So, what Sutton did was they opened a West Virginia Bigfoot Museum, which has the Mid Atlantic's largest collection of Bigfoot research material, artifacts, and information in the search for Bigfoot and does he really exist? And this museum is a definitely a stopping point for visitors and of course locals alike. And it has actually started the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival, which is becoming bigger and bigger every year. So it just goes to show you Bigfoot doesn't belong to anybody, but Sutton has made a home for Bigfoot.
They claimed him. I think
Yes,
it's
and
brilliant. I
it's
think it's
brilliant.
absolutely brilliant. And it makes sense that Bigfoot would be in West Virginia. We're the kind of place where he would live.
I think so. I think he's here. I mean, I just
So
don't know
yeah,
where.
well, actually it's funny that you say that because I was going to say that Bigfoot has the distinction of really being the only cryptid, maybe apart from the Loch Ness monster, that people really believed was real and went out trying to find him. You know, people have set up video cameras in the woods, traps, leaving food out. You know, people made genuine effort to spot Bigfoot. And
This
I
is very
remember that,
true.
yeah, in the
Hmm.
70s, of course, there was a real Bigfoot craze. Bigfoot was on TV. Okay, do you remember? Bigfoot was on the Bionic Man.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Lee
The Bionic,
Major's Bionic
the
Man?
yeah, Bionic Man
Okay.
tears his arm off and discovers he's a robot, but that's not the point that I'm getting to.
You're lying. Oh my God.
Bigfoot was so big that he was on the Bionic Man. And guess who played Bigfoot?
I have no idea.
The actor Ted Cassidy, who was also
No.
known for playing Lurch
He's from
on
West
the Addams
Virginia.
Family, and he's from West Virginia.
So let me
So,
just, that just makes me think that there's a lot to this Bigfoot belonging in West Virginia.
right, right. And based off of that, do you remember the Sid and Marty Krofft shows?
Oh gosh, those were wild.
Yeah, like the costumes all looked like they were put together with stuff from the dollar store
Right.
and
A lot
the
of
episode,
felt.
yeah, a lot of felt. The episodes were just 15 minutes long. But they were basically just there so they could show cereal commercials. But there was a show called Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Do you remember that?
Sort of.
The story was that Bigfoot actually lived in the Pacific Northwest and a kid gets abandoned somehow and
I do
Bigfoot
remember that.
raises him. Right? Bigfoot raises him. And somehow the kid now is like 17 years old and has clothes and feathered hair and speaks English, but whatever. You'd have to ask the Croft brothers to explain that. Um,
Oh boy, that is so funny, but
and
that is
yeah,
familiar.
they fought evildoers. And, you know, they basically stole the sound effects from the $6 million man. Remember when he would like jump into the air and they had that music da 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 da
Yes.
and he's
Yes.
moving in slow motion and that weird kind of supersonic background noise is playing. They did that with Bigfoot. They basically tried to turn him into, you know, another
I had forgotten about
bionic
that.
character. Yeah, yeah. So if you
Mm.
go to YouTube, you can see Lee Majors ripping off Bigfoot's arm.
And just for reference for all of those listening, that was around 1976. I'm sure
Mhm.
maybe you were around and maybe many of you weren't born, but good stuff. You can YouTube it.
So I think without a doubt, the most popular cryptid in West Virginia would be Mothman.
Agreed. I
He is
agree.
all over West Virginia, and
I
not just
know.
that. I mean, he's gone nationwide. People have Mothman fever.
They
And
they really do.
yeah, and
Hmm.
that's been building the last, I don't know. I don't always pay attention to current trends, plus I'm old, but I would say in the last 5 years, I mean, I've seen a significant jump just in Mothman merchandise. I mean,
Right.
he's a merchandiser's dream.
He is. Hmm.
We even sell the Mothman stuffed animals in our store because people come in looking for Mothman. But you see like Mothman t-shirts everywhere. You know, I guess there's kind of a general paranormal community and they all have their mascots or whatever. But Point Pleasant has gotten a lot of mileage out of Mothman.
They have. And he is West Virginia's cryptid. West Virginia claims him. I mean, the first sighting of Mothman was in 1966 near Point Pleasant, and eyewitnesses described like a winged figure with glowing red eyes, and it appeared several times up until that terrible tragedy in 1967 when the Silver Bridge collapsed there. With so many eyewitnesses at the time of Mothman, the story, as we go back to storytelling, grew and grew. And as you were saying, Kathy, about growing in momentum, I mean, the Mothman Prophecies is a movie that was produced in or came out in 2002 with top billing stars Richard Gere and Laura Linney. Also in 2002 was the first Mothman Festival, and we all know how that has grown and has exploded. And now
Right.
there is a Mothman Museum that was opened in 2005. My point in all of this rambling about Mothman is Point Pleasant has him, West Virginia has him, and he's our very own cryptid. And we go back to the question, which is, Kathy, what is that?
Why doesn't Hinton have a cryptid? I like the idea of something with wings. You know, all of this Mothman merchandise is him flying triumphantly through the skies. So that's a good aspect. I would like for Hitton's cryptid to have some kind of supernatural element as well. What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree. You're talking about flying. We think of the Avian Center and all the majestic eagles we have. I mean, we definitely have a lot of beautiful flying creatures here. I think we're in a prime location to have a phenomenal cryptid and definitely one with superpowers.
So, in our quest to find a good cryptid for Hinton, one thing we could do is follow Sutton's example, which is find an existing one and just claim it. I was
True.
reading about a critter called the hoop snake that forms a circle by putting his tail in his mouth and then rolling like a wheel.
Really familiar to me.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that is a better way for a snake to move than slithering because they're pretty fast and they can go anywhere. In one of the stories I read about a hoop snake, a guy was able to get away from it because he jumped over a chain link fence. And
Oh,
it took the
yikes.
hoop snake time to like uncoil and get his tail out of his mouth. And by then he was just irritated and gave up. So that's Hitton's cryptid right there. The one
Yeah.
that just gives up.
An irritated snake who says, what the heck? I'm done.
Yeah.
Why is that so
You don't have
funny?
to worry about getting caught by Hitton's cryptid because it's kind of lazy.
Oh my gosh, that is
But
hilarious.
it does do one fun kind of supernatural thing, which is if it sees specific prey that it wants to attack, it'll start rolling to get up speed.
Right?
Then it will shoot itself in the air with its tail forward. which has poison in it, and it
Oh,
becomes
wow.
stiff like an arrow. So it's a flying poison snake arrow that,
Wow.
you get pierced with that, and you're done. So that's the scary element.
That's actually kind of tough right there.
Right.
That's kind of neat.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
superhero-ish.
Yeah,
And then
I
the
think
other
so.
thing I heard about it, I mean, everything was focused on the tail. Either the poison was in the tail and it would kind of sting you with it, or it
Mhm.
would use its tail to whip you. And there was one story that said it would just whip somebody to death.
Oh my
And
gosh.
again, I thought, what a perfect thing for Hinton. Even our snakes will whip your ass.
I
So don't
that's
mess with us.
don't mess with us at all. I That's actually kind of really cool.
Yes. So I've got high hopes for that one, but tell me what you have. What else could we come up with? Because that is a borrowed one. I mean, that's an incident of claiming. What could be just uniquely Hinton?
Well, let's see. Well, if we think about it, and it's pretty obvious, and we will mention them again, is our rivers. We could have something aquatic, a kind of a river creature, something that kind of hides in the water. You don't really see it, but it creates ripple effects. I don't know. Um, there's also
Yeah.
our railroad history. Are there any? What
Ah.
about like the rail walker or this shadowy figure that you see near abandoned rail areas,
I
and
like the
disappears.
railroad one a lot because it associates with sounds. You know how all
Exactly.
good ghost stories are like? And on a quiet night, you
Right.
can still hear the woman screaming about being left at the altar. Because,
Left at the altar.
well, because
You
there's
should
that
be,
story about a ghost woman in a wedding dress
well, she should
who
be happy if
who
she was
should
left at the altar. So I'm
he
just
just saved her
saying,
some trouble.
um, she should not be crying. She should be
um
clapping her
yeah,
hands, but
it's
that's
the
another
ghost
story.
bride, and I think it's a West
Yeah.
Virginia story. But anyway, the point is, on a quiet night, you can hear fill in the blank, because then people will think they hear
Oh.
it, and they'll be scared. So with the railroad, it would be the clank of iron somehow, somebody driving
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
railroad tie in the ground. I don't know. But I like that element of it. The
Well,
rail walker, that
yeah.
sounds scary.
Mhm. Mhm. That does sound scary. That does sound really creepy. And another thing just to think about is with our mountains, kind of like a mountain watcher,
Hmm.
like a creature like figure that blends into the trees or ridge lines. It's more like a feeling,
Oh, dang.
like
Oh,
if
you're
you're
getting into the serious psychological
oh,
thriller stuff.
yes, I am. And here's the thing, like we've got so many hiking trails and so much
That's
back
true.
country, like,
Yeah.
you're not alone. Mm.
Man, that would be so good in a movie. I can see it. Like the innocent hiker just, marching up a trail, and then it pans over to what looks like a bush with some rocks beside it. And then this figure emerges, chameleon like.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I think,
but not in a bad way. The cryptid is just maybe that's a protective cryptid to watch you along your walk or your hike, or maybe it's a cryptid that brings you ice cream or food while you're hiking in the
yeah,
backwoods.
okay,
I
this
don't
has
know.
become very personal for you now. I think that
Yeah.
just really,
Yeah. That's where I'm
that'll
at.
be your cryptid.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so we've got the mountain watcher, which I think we could build on. We could adopt the hoop snake, or
Right.
we could have a lake creature, which is also a really good idea. And a
Yeah.
hydra, I mean, a hydra was like the snakes. I think there were 9 of them. It wasn't hair, it wasn't like Medusa, but it was just a creature with the snakes all around, right?
So yeah, so like the Hinton Hydra.
Yeah, Hinton
Yeah.
Hydra. That
Mhm.
has a good ring. Another good story for the rail walker could be, someone who worked in signals and made a mistake. And so there was tragedy and a train wrecked and people got killed.
Oh,
And
this
now
is
he just
dark.
walks. I know. Well, they're all dark. And because you have to have ghosts have unfinished business, just
Well,
like the woman who was left at the altar.
you know what, too? This ghost kind of goes into the paranormal, right? And
Right.
some cryptids are, well, like Mothman is associated with paranormal activity and things like that. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, what we're looking for, and we're asking you all out there, is if you've heard any stories or heard anything in the Hinton Summers County area of anything that has been told down from generations or just anything, or just do you have any ideas? We think Hinton needs a cryptid. We just got to figure it out.
And we would have so much fun creating the graphic for that.
Oh my gosh, would we not? It would be so fun. And, here's a couple of taglines, right? So here, where three rivers meet and something else lurks.
Nice one. You are really with it today. That is a great tagline. I
Mhm.
already had mine for hoop snakes. Even our snakes will whip your ass. Um,
I can't beat that. I mean, come on. And one more. I'll leave with one more.
okay.
If you're deep enough in the woods, you're not alone.
All right. You are really bringing the dark and scary vibes today.
That's how I am. That's me.
That
Yep.
is. Yeah.
Mhm.
People think you're like this sunny, bright personality. Nope. You can go dark in a second. Of course, I
But
came
that
up with a
doesn't,
train wreck.
yeah,
Um,
but dark doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's just the mysterious, the unknown.
that's true.
And,
That's true.
and, and you know what? We have fun with it. It's storytelling. So I think this has been a fun episode, right?
This has been really great. And what I like about it most is that it is going to continue because with luck, we will hear from some people who have their own
Hmm.
stories and we
Hmm.
can really make this Hinton Cryptid happen. So if you're out there listening and you're excited about the idea, let us know in the comments or comment on our Facebook page. We want to get this thing started.
We're ready and we can't wait to hear from you. And we look forward to talking again on episode 4, right, Kathy?
I know. I know. It'll be great. We'll meet our milestones. So thank you for
Yes.
tuning in. Until next time,
Until next time, take care.
look out for snakes. Hello again, everyone. This is a quick addendum to our podcast episode. After we recorded and finished editing, we realized that there was not really a mistake, but kind of a miscommunication regarding Bigfoot's appearance on the $6 Million Man. The very first time that Bigfoot appeared on that show, he was played by Andre the Giant, which is also pretty awesome if you were into 70s wrestling. He did that for one episode. And then when Bigfoot came back and was a recurring character, that is when Ted Cassidy, also known as Lurch, took over. And if you look at that show on YouTube, you'll see that it looks exactly like Lurch with a curly wig. It's awesome. Check it out.